Okay, now that we are kind of accustomed with the admin portal dashboard layout, you can go ahead and start creating some magic. And magic being creating a form view that lists the members that you have available in the system, allows you to register a new member and view the details of that member. Right, so you can go ahead and get started by navigating down to configurations and modules, because this framework is modular based. So all the forms and configurations are grouped under a module on the basis of functionality or whatever else you would like to group your however else you would like to structure your application. But in order for you to create a form configuration, it does need to be assigned to a specific module. So we're going to go ahead and start by creating that by clicking on the add button, giving it a name of membership because it is a membership management application, giving it a description of membership management model, and finally enabling it. You can now go ahead and click on OK. Great, the module has been created, as you can see. And now let's put this backward to use by navigating down to configurations and forms. Great, so this part of the admin portal dashboard layout lists all the configurable forms that you do have available in your system, and right now it is empty, so let's go ahead and create our first form configuration by clicking on create new. And this brings up a pop-up modal which takes in 6 values, which I am going to explain right now. The first value being a module, which we just created right now to group your form configurations based on functionality. The second value being template, which takes in which gives you an option of 4 values, including form view, table view, blank view, details view, and all of these have pre-configured have a pre-configured structure of maybe the things that you would like to have in each of the selected view. Take for instance, a table view comes with pre-configured toolbars, data tables, filter buttons, and all of those nice things for your convenience, as you will see. The third value being the name property, which is how you would identify the form and how you would access the form. The label, the description, and the model type being the entity that you would like to bind your form to. Great, so let's get started by creating the form, giving it a module of membership, which we just created. And because I want to see a list of all my members, I think I'm going to go with a table view just so we can have it all laid out nicely and looking pretty, be easy to navigate, filter out what we want and whatnot. So we're just going to go ahead and select a template of table view, give it a name of members table, be super descriptive, and a label of members table just to continue with that same naming convention, and a description of this table view is used to display, I can't type now for some reason, display a list of all members. Great, and give it a model type of Shesha core person by typing or just searching through the drop-down list, selecting that because we do want to query from Shesha core person, and then clicking on OK to be redirected to the form designer of the specific form. Great, when we are redirected to the form designer, we can then go ahead and collapse this so we have more space to work with, as you can see. And I'm just going to get started by explaining all the different components and features of this form designer mode. So on the side is the builder widgets, which contains all the draggable components such as the container, as you can see on the edit field. There is a container, there's a button group, there's a data table, which was all preceded because we did choose the table view template. It has a button filter, a refresh, and all those nice things which can be found on the builder widgets. And right below that we have a data panel which contains the entity that you chose to be binded to the form. And by doing that, you can see that we now have access to the different properties that are available in that entity, such as the address, the full name, the first name, and all those nice things. So we can go ahead and close that up. And to our right, to the side, we have the property sidebar, which is then populated by the different components configuration modes, which allows you to kind of customize and edit your component as you see fit. And right above that, we have the form settings modal, which has settings such as your post URL, your get URL, and all those nice things, which actually make your life so much easier, as you will see later on in the tutorial. Can close that up. And on this right beside it, we have the preview mode toggle, which kind of gives you a perception of how the end users would see and receive your configured form. As you will see, that is very great. That is very useful as we go on through the tutorial. So we can go ahead and start configuring our table view by clicking on the data table components. And as you see, the property sidebar is now populated with objects and properties to allow you to customize and do whatever you like with your components. So you're just going to go ahead and click on customize columns to add columns to our data table. So for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to be adding 3 columns. So go ahead and click on add columns 3 times, and going on to the first column that we want to display, as you see on the property sidebar, it is populated with the different properties available for this column components. And as you can see, it does have an option of selecting different data types, such as data, which is static, and action, which we will get into as we go on through this tutorial, and a property name field, which has all the properties that you have available based on which entity you chose to bind it to the form. And as you saw on the data panel, the properties that were available there are on the property name that you can access and have displaying on your table. So you do have an option of just scrolling through the property name drop down list, or you can just search for the property that you want and select it, and similarly just easily click on this lightning bulb icon to autocomplete your caption, which is super convenient. We can go on to the second column and select the property name, last name, because first name goes as last name. Click on the autocomplete, go to the third column and give it a property name of cell phone number. Okay, cell phone number is not there, so we can go ahead and scroll through the list to see what we have available. I'm just going to go ahead and click on mobile number 1 or to complete that, but I don't want it to be mobile number, I want it to be cell phone number. So I can go ahead and change that caption, which shows you that you do have the flexibility of entering your own captions and changing it as you would like. I'm going to go ahead and save that, and now my table is populated with the one entry that you did see in the database with the first name of system and last name of administrator. I can go ahead and close that up. Great, now that we have configured our first table, I think let's give this table a bit more character. So we can go ahead and navigate to the builder widget and type in our first draggable component, which is going to be a title component. So we can open that up, drag the title components to wherever you would like it to be. I'm just going to drag it and drop it over there and change the content of this title component to all members. Great, but it's looking a bit big, so let's just see how it looks on preview mode. Yeah, it does look a tad too big. So the nice thing about this component is that it also allows sizing properties. So as you can see, it allows you to select between different levels. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the H4. Let's go ahead and see how that looks on the preview mode. And yeah, it looks quite about right. So I'm just gonna go with the H4 title component, and this just goes to prove how helpful this preview mode toggle is, because you don't have to go back and forth and keep coming back just because it doesn't look the way that you wanted it to look. Great, so now that we are finally satisfied with how our table looks, we can go ahead and save and set ready our form. And we are ready to publish our first form to live. So you can go ahead and publish that. And now our form is live and ready to be accessed throughout the whole system.